Hi, everybody. My name is Aaliyah Quintanilla, and this is my assessment of community needs for my site, which is called Family Place. It is um, a domestic violence shelter for um, individuals, both men and women, as well as their children who are escaping from domestic violence. They also offer services such as counseling for individuals who were victims to domestic violence but now have a safe place to live. They also have a retail sales store where they take donations and sell it to give back to the community that they serve. But my capstone is specifically focusing within the community of the individuals residing in the domestic violence shelter. So the community is parents and children escaping from domestic violence or family violence. But in addition to these individuals, I am also serving the staff and the volunteers of Family Place. Um, so, just a little bit of back history. There were 15,712 domestic violence related offenses that were committed in Dallas alone. And these are reported incidences. So, the number is projected to be much higher than what is actually displayed. But this is just the number that we know of individuals who have reported or have left a domestic violence a relationship with domestic violence. So, studies have shown that 1 in 4 women and 1 in 7 men experience domestic violence. Um, but the community I'm serving are specifically those that are residing within the shelter. So the environment is, again, the emergency shelter. It's located in Dallas, but the physical address is very secure just for the safety of the clients that they serve, as well as to maintain privacy of the clients who go there, because many individuals do not want other people to know that they were victims of domestic violence. So everything is very, very anonymous. So within the shelter, each person who goes is given an individual bedroom with a private bathroom. And if they bring children with them, their children also reside in the bedroom with the parents. So everyone is staying close together. There's a small play area for children within the shelter, and then individual and group counseling is offered to the individuals who reside in the shelter. Um, they also have direct access to case managers. Um, they also have access to law enforcement's a legal team, and then health services such as medical assistance, rape kits, and dental services. And they also have something called a safe space. So the shelter itself is a safe space, but they partner up with Quick Trip for their safe spaces. So if you're fleeing a domestic violence situation, you can go to any QT and they will get you in contact with Family Place. So I conducted my needs assessment by talking to the staff and directors of Family Place, and I asked them what their client specific needs are. And they said that the most like the needs that take the most precedence for them are reliable resources, trustworthy people, a sense of security, occupational balance, social support, and just validation for their situation. And then the needs for the specific site include donations, because it takes this is a multi-million-dollar project that they are running. So they rely very, very heavily on donations as well as grants. They also need a sense of trust and community, because these individuals who are fleeing domestic violence situations have very little trust in people just because of the situation that they've been in. But they also are often very isolated from their community due to the emotional abuse that their partner has given them before. So they just need that community sense, that social support system. They also need societal support. So just basic awareness and recognition that domestic violence is such a big issue, not only in this country, but within Dallas itself. And then just their overall well-being of their clients. So that's their number one goal whenever they serve their clients, is their overall well-being. And that is what their mission aims to promote. So the assets of my um, my capstone place is that they have very, very well-trained staff, as well as volunteers. So if you want to volunteer or become a member of their staff, you have to go through very rigorous training just to ensure that you are trauma informed. You understand the situations that these individuals have been going through, and you don't create a trauma response within the individuals. They also have a deep passion and desire to help their community grow. So not just each member grow as an individual, they also strive to promote awareness to domestic violence within DFW. And just are constantly making partnerships with individuals and organizations that can help provide resources for the individuals who are residing in their shelter. Um, so for me personally, whenever I'm working with Family Place, I have a very, very supportive mentor, but also there are many directors who are just very supportive of their overall staff. They have directors of volunteers, and everybody who is within a place of management is just very supportive, not only to the people who are working for them, but also to the people who are residing in the shelter. They have In addition, they also have a variety of donations, grants, and they conduct many fundraisers throughout the year. So they have a very high volume of income that they can put into the program, which is absolutely amazing. Just walking inside the shelter, I could see that not only were they well funded, but they were using those funds in very smart ways that facilitates a sense of community as well as supports the individuals who are residing in the shelter. They also have just a mass support from their community, so from their partners um, that they have relationships with, from the many volunteers, from the staff, and then from people who have lived in the shelter before. They tend to have a turnaround and they want to help facilitate the program once they are out of that situation. So the community that they have is absolutely amazing. And everybody, like I said before, is just so supportive of each other. Another asset that they have is stakeholders who uphold their mission statement. So they have a board of directors, they have a community board, and then they have just an overall board whose entire goal is just to oversee the mission of the program. And then they have a very large environment. So they have 3 shelters in Dallas, as well as the other resources that they provide to people who are not residing in the shelter. So their presence in the DFW area, whether we know it or we don't know it, is very, very large. And then, so with all of this being said, how I am going to implement myself as an occupational therapy doctoral candidate is by implementing a reading program, because another issue that they said they had is just they need leisurely activities for the kids who reside in the shelter. So my plan is to develop a reading program. Um, and within this, I am going to implement a collection of books within the facility for the kids to use as just a leisurely activity. But I'm also going to implement a story time program where parents can find a better sense of community within the organization while they're residing there, because my program will be parent led. And by this, I mean I will create a curriculum of reading for the parents to do story time once a week. And I'm going to implement gross motor skills, fine motor skills, visual perceptual skills, and just early school readiness skills. So I'm going to have all of that implemented within a curriculum that the parents will follow. So my plan for this is summer of 2022 is finding the site, and then assessing their needs through communication with my site mentor and with the board of directors, which I have already done. And then spring of 2023, I'm going to reevaluate the needs of the program to assess that this is still a program that can be implemented and that needs to be implemented for the individuals and the kids residing within the shelter. And then I will make modifications to my program based on what their needs are in the spring. I will also conduct my program development where I'm going to generate the curriculum for my program, and then I'm going to implement the program. So my implementation is going to include staff training, just overall structure, so physical structure of setting everything up within the shelter. And then I'll do a program evaluation once everything is implemented by assessing satisfaction from the staff and the volunteers, and then just gaining their general input on how realistic is it for this program to be implemented once I'm gone. And based on the needs of that, I will tweak my program to ensure that it can still be implemented upon me leaving. And then once that is completely done, then I will do my dissemination, which is where I will give a presentation to the board of directors, the staff, and the volunteers of Family Place, to just go over everything that I've done, explain how to continue implementation of it. And then I will do dissemination at Texas Women's University, where I will present to TW faculty, staff, and the student body